Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on January 12, 2023. Europe's 9180th rule. How long can you stay in an EU country and how does it work? The Independent, little-known passport rule that could stop you traveling to Europe. Leicestershire Live. All travelers should have this essential document before jetting off on a European holiday. Chronicle Live. Warning to anyone with red UK passport over little-known European rule. Surrey Live. Little-known passport rule that anyone traveling to Europe this year must know. Satellite images show devastation to Russian-controlled mining town. The Independent. Latest Ukraine satellite pics show damaged homes, bombed fields. NDTV. Officials. Russian artillery fire down as much as 75% from wartime high. CNN. Russia is using prisoners to absorb heavy Ukrainian fire, U.S. official. Business Insider. Russian artillery fire down nearly 75%, U.S. officials say, in latest sign of struggles for Moscow. French hunter who fatally shot man he mistook for boar given suspended sentence. The Guardian. French hunter who killed a man he mistook for a boar avoids jail. France 24 English. French hunter convicted for killing British man he mistook for boar. The Local France. French hunter avoids jail after fatal shooting of Franco-British man. The Times. Frenchman banned from hunting for life after shooting British man dead. Idaho murders. Update. Bryan Kohberger appears at court hearing as new student stabbing comments revealed. The Independent. TikTok's true crime community is turning on Idaho murder survivors. Rolling Stone. Neighbor of Bryan Kohberger says suspect talked about Idaho student murders. CBS Mornings. Opinion, Idaho killings and criminology. The New York Times. The eerie online world of the Idaho murders case. Support for leaving EU has fallen significantly across bloc since Brexit. The Guardian. Collapse in support for leaving EU in member states since Brexit, new data shows. The Irish Times. Brexit a big mistake now say 1 in 3 Tory voters. Chinese warn not to visit elderly relatives as COVID spreads from cities. The Guardian. How bad is China's COVID outbreak? A look at cases, deaths. The Washington Post. Chinese fret over elderly as WHO warns of holiday COVID surge. News 18. Chinese hospital says half of its staff got COVID. CNBC. China's precarious moment. COVID everywhere and few restrictions. China. 5 dead after man drives into crowd in Guangzhou. UK risks being listed as a human rights abuser, NGO warns. Russia's Putin lays into Minister Manchurov for fooling around. The FTC is back to being the activist US agency progressives sought in 1914. The Guardian. FTC proposes rule to ban non-compete agreements. Top class actions. If federal regulators ban non-compete agreements, it'd be the first person to start working again, advisor says. CNBC. Banning non-compete agreements would be a boon for physicians. Stat. The FTC's proposed non-compete ban would change M&A. Andrew Tate. Updates. Romanian police announce fresh raids after influencer's arrest. The Independent. Andrew Tate, who is the self-proclaimed misogynist influencer. BBC News. BBC News. Andrew Tate. Police raid 7 more homes in Romania as part of human trafficking investigation. Sky News. Romania searches 7 homes in case of influencer Andrew Tate. The Independent. Andrew Tate loses appeal against seizure of 10 properties and luxury cars. Scale of alleged torture, detentions by Russian forces in Kherson emerges. Corrupted file to blame for computer glitch which grounded every US flight. Sky News. Why did FAA ground flights across the US? BBC. Flights grounded. Latest. Corrupted file blamed for 10,000 US plane delays. The Independent. Why our reliance on IT systems could mean more flight chaos in future. The Telegraph. FAA outage. Officials say corrupt file caused grounding of flights. Putin replaces infamous General Armageddon after just 3 months in Ukraine military shake-up. The Independent. Ukraine war. Sergei Surovikin removed as commander of Ukraine invasion force. BBC. Valery Gerasimov may not be able to stem Russia's losses. The New Statesman, Putin replacing overall commander in Ukraine war could signal Russia is prepared for the long haul. Sky News, Putin's change of commander in Ukraine is sign of desperation, says ex-British Army chief. Lula says he suspects pro-Bolsonaro staff helped mob enter presidential palace. The Guardian, Brazil riots. Despite rising fears, new round of protests flop. BBC, Brazil's political crisis gives Lula chance to solidify his support. Financial Times, what happened in Brazil was not a repeat of January 6 in the US. Al Jazeera English, in Brasilia, modernist architecture met political violence. Ukraine war, Soledar devastation revealed in satellite images. BBC, why does Soledar matter in the Russia-Ukraine conflict? BBC News. BBC News, Ukraine war, the bloody battle for Soledar and what it tells us about the future of the conflict. The Conversation, Soledar, Ukraine battle hints at rift in pro-Russian forces. BBC, Ukraine war, who controls Soledar and why it matters. Second batch of classified Biden documents found. BBC, US News Live, second set of classified documents found at Joe Biden's former office, WION Live. WION, classified files found at Biden's Delaware home. BBC, why Biden needs to apologize over the classified documents. The Independent, politics or by the book, investigating Biden's classified documents. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.